Oh, morning. I haven't even edited the video yet. Aaron's got a meeting. He had already a meeting. We were having a discussion about, we're trying to figure, we're trying to figure out what the big, apparently on Beeldstraat in Utrecht, there's an I, Mac, and More store.
Okay, so, the ones that were CRTs, One Piece, those were Emacs.
Okay. The clarification of news is people actually gave out information in the text thing while we were watching Deep Space Nine last night, and other people were talking on Facebook and in the GTL about stuff, but mostly in Dutch. I didn't quite understand things. He had a meeting this morning with NMQ. I'm just like, that current measures we have in place, so probably all of the plastic and the anderhalve meter afstand, that stuff is going to be in place until the 28th. And I was like, what about June 1st? What did I hear about June 1st? I was being bugged by the fact that I heard June 1st and now it seems to be shorter. No. Large gatherings and sports are pretty much are not advised to happen pretty much as much as the Dutch ban anything until June 1st. So restaurants, or as they say, horeca, things will probably start opening up in May. But they're probably still going to, and like the lines on the floor to keep a distance, that's probably going to be staying in the anderhalve meter. That's probably going to stick around all the way through May, but they may allow restaurants to open up with limited patrons. I don't know what's going on. We're still looking. I mean, it's April 1st today. Anybody who's watched this for a long time, we ain't going to be joking you. I don't do that. I'm already get thrown off enough by various other things. I don't need to convey that sort of anxiety, especially in these times, for you guys. Plus, by the time anybody watches this, it'll be April 2nd. Once you're on a one-day delay, single-day holidays kind of blah. Right. 12:20 right now. And had a couple more meetings. I went down to the bakery, got my beers for tonight, and I actually picked him up some cheese because I was there. I'm not going to be leaving the house much today, so you guys get to see what I do on physical fitness with, being on a top floor. So I can't necessarily do like jumping stuff because they're working at home. If they're taking a midday nap, I can't do it in the living room because their bedroom's underneath that. And if they're trying to work from home, I can't do it in our bedroom because that's over their office area. So what I do is I put down my little mat right here in between like the bed and stuff because, I think I need to flip this over. The sun was hitting it a lot yesterday, so it looked like it formed it to that spiral massage thing. Let me get the foam roller. I'm gonna try a different workout than I have been doing. But again, I get my cardio and a lot of apparently decent leg strengthening out of my regular stuff or bike riding because apparently I like to go up and over really steep hills and bridges. And bridges against the wind. So it's like, so in order to maintain some semblance of decent speed, I push real hard. My legs have been, I feel stupid sometimes because I try to keep up with like the commuter bikes, which have like 21 gears or more. And people are also like wrapped up in spandex and have a helmet on and are just flying down the road. And I'm sitting here on a rented 7-speed bike. And I'm trying to go like 6th or 7th gear, which is the speed gear, not the torque gear. When I'm usually filming, I'm in like 4 or 5. But yesterday when I was coming back from Central, I was kind of on a mainly flat area, but I couldn't. Anyways, So yeah, I'm gonna need my phone. The Wi-Fi's great, but I need to be able to look up this stuff. Apparently some folks are going crazy because they work at a gym and they're like, but I don't want to keep doing live streams and online videos. I want to work at the gym. And I'm like, welcome to my world. You guys are stuck to doing live streams twice a week. I really only get to do the main content that makes my channel money twice a week, because that's all football practice is. It's twice a week, Thursdays and Sundays. And right now, sports are pretty much canceled until June 1st. I don't know what's going on with the AFBN. There has been all of a sudden today a post someone asked, and then a bunch of people commented on that one, including the AFBN. They're like, they're watching everything very closely and they're coming up to a decision soon. And I'm like, we haven't actually had a full announcement that our season is canceled is the thing. We haven't even heard if it's postponed, because if this is only happening until June, we can move the season by like a month and a half. Yeah, we'll have to have Dutch playing in summer, and a lot of people won't be understanding that one, but it's either that or we wait all the way until next March to play games. Aaron's back from dropping off the garbage. Alright, so that's a taste of stuff I do. I'm in a roll. I do some yoga posing. Keep everything stretched out because sitting in a chair playing video games constantly can be, especially on the legs. Make sure to keep your hips nice and loose and stuff and not confined to a chair. I know most of you probably, what are you supposed to do? You're sitting in school all the time, but now that you're home, you're sitting at a computer, you don't get up and move around much. At least with high school, you get up and go from class to class. And it's okay. And it's awkward. So making sure that you do just basic yoga poses. Make sure you get your push-ups in, because even if it's not a lot of push-ups, but it's not a little amount of push-ups, you can do 3 sets of 20, I call that good, because you're not trying to be a push-up champion, you're just trying to keep your muscles active. Because I don't have any weights here. The best I got for anything heavy would be Aaron. If I took one of our decorative glass jugs and filled it full of water, but then I'd have to cap it so that and who knows. And that could be awkward. On top of that, I could probably put clothing in the suitcase and have a military press or something because the shoulders, but without actual weights, it's hard for me to actually do much of stuff, and which is why I depend on a gym. But body weight exercises work. There's a link here to a channel that's a body weight warrior thing. He's British. He does a lot of flexibility and stuff through his entire channel. He has helped lengthen my hamstrings a little bit more. I do some of his stuff even normally, just stand and like hang down and make sure that things, as well as that little thing at the gym, because that helped. Anyways. And then I saw something from Lineman Football, he does lineman stuff, and it's definitely lineman focused, but it's still kind of football. It's like football, lineman. So he has a lot of stuff. He's not a physio person. So he just usually gets like the stuff to do at the gym and then does it. Kind of wish I had gotten something from the guys at Oster Gym, but who knows, whatever. And yeah. Another thing that I got from, actually, that where I bring up lineman football, is that last thing you saw me do was you get yourself on a smooth surface or anything that you can drag. So like a yoga mat or a pillow, even if you're on a really hard surface like concrete or hardwood floor. You don't want to drag your knees on it, but anything soft, and you basically roll your arms like that, and you do that a number of times, because that helps. Some people have pull downs. Some people have a pull down bar. I don't. I did not pack that with me. I never bought one from Decathlon because I did not think I needed it. Plus, the one that I had back in Beaverton, if I left it up randomly, sometimes Aaron would honk because he doesn't look up. His vision's very limited, so I have to keep doorways clear. And if I absent-mindedly forget because the door's tall enough and I walk underneath the pull-up bar, yeah. On me to be a little bit more vigilant, but again, I'm not 100%, and so it's just easier to not keep one of those things around. But I had the gym. Now I don't. Taking things for granted, but I don't necessarily want to stock up this apartment with stuff and then make it a pain in the butt to move. Yeah, like I said, push-ups, yoga stretching. If you don't have a pull-up bar or anything, that works. I could probably go out to one of the little jungle gyms, as I call them. I'm not sure what other people call them, but there's like these little tiny like neighborhood gyms all over the place that are outdoors. So I could go there and do a pull-up if I cared so. But that's another way, if you're stuck absolutely indoors because it's like pouring rain outside, that's another thing to do, is because when you kind of, I don't know if you guys saw, but I was keeping my hip to thigh at as much 90 degrees. I would go back to like child's pose, and then I'd roll, I'd child's pose, and then the way I was doing it, I was going forward till my hands were like straight out, like I would be ready for a push-up. I probably could have went down further, but then I'd be over. It would probably tip over. And that sucks. But that's pretty much it. I'm not a physio person either, but I do try to keep up a bit of muscle tonality as well as the cardio. I'm utilizing this time much more to put cardio in than strength training. I can get strength training back. I went 4 months basically without any serious strength training, because that was August, September, October, November. I didn't start up at the gym till like December when we had our account and all that jazz. So I had like 4 or 5 months where I had no gym whatsoever, and I eventually moved right back into doing all my wonderful strength training stuff. And then I broke a collarbone and had to take a step back from there. But muscle gain will come back with decent weights, but you don't want to let them completely sag. If you have weights at home, great. I mean, go ahead, lift your 20 kilos in each hand for shoulders. I'm doing a little bit extra for legs by taking our stairs 2 at a time, even if I got a heavy load of groceries, because it kind of works as a weighted step up. And since there's 4 flights of stairs, plus going up Amsterdam stairs is kind of just a leg workout to begin with. But I will catch you guys all tomorrow for something. Great icky day, probably great icky day tomorrow. I don't know.